after P. Diddy was charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Some are asking how Diddy got away with it for so long and who else was involved. The charges stem from what Diddy called, quote, freak-offs, which allegedly included days-long coerced sex acts in hotel rooms that Sean B. Diddy Combs orchestrated and recorded. Now, Diddy seemingly described these freak-offs during a Conan O'Brien interview back in 2002. Let's take a listen to Diddy's response after Conan asked him how to throw a killer party.
Okay, now, we need alcohols.
Right.
Alcohols.
Right. Not just one alcohol.
Alcohols.
Right, just a different blend. You need the ladies, you need the booze.
You need some water.
For watering plants?
No. No, I don't know if guys have noticed this, like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, you know, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but you know, rock with me, but just check it out. You need a lot of heat. A lot of heat. Yeah.
Heat? You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning?
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, you know, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you talking about?
Depends on the way you look at it.
Depends. Oh, people start getting gets kind of sexy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you sexy.
During a federal raid of Diddy's home, agents uncovered 1,000 bottles of baby oil. The indictment says Combs, quote, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and influence of the multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in and attempted to engage in, among other crimes, sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice. The indictment listed Combs' security staff, household staff, personal assistants, high-ranking supervisors, and others among the associates who made up a criminal organization. Publicly, Diddy has been closely linked to countless celebrities, including Jay-Z, Justin Bieber, Usher, J-Lo, and Ashton Kutcher, to name a few. Diddy pleaded not guilty to all the charges, and a judge has denied bail. Wow. So,
yeah, we're revisiting some of these things that Diddy has said over the years and also people in his orbit. I can remember watching a video of Usher describing living with Diddy when he was just 14 or 15 at the time and having older women who were above the age of consent, kind of the Diddy arranging for him to lose his virginity that way when he was very underage. That was something that got revisited when first the kind of accusations against Diddy were coming out. And there's been other things like that over the years. This could be Justin Bieber.
He had custody of Justin Bieber, and it seems, I think he also had custody of Usher at the time. Why parents would allow that to happen?
Well, that's the Michael Jackson story all over again.
It's predatory behavior.
I mean, there has to be some responsibility. I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take or not. Some responsibility on the families and the parents, right? I mean, that I felt that while watching like the Michael Jackson trial too. Like now you want some. You were a neglectful parent, and now you want some payday because of it.
Also, keep in mind, they're selling a dream to them, which Justin Bieber and Usher did receive. There was evidence that, you know, P. Diddy will invest in you as a producer and coach you and take, you know, several hours of training all day long to prepare you for your celebrity. And he did that with Danity Kane. He's produced countless musicians over the years, but at the same time, it comes at an expense. And whether the parents knew that, because he would isolate them from them, it's classic predatory behavior, right?
This could be Hollywood's Epstein Island.
Absolutely.
Is how this is
without
going
a doubt
to be. Celebrities in Diddy's orbit are nervous. I'm seeing reports of various people deleting their public social media profiles, that kind of thing. I think people are worried about being criminally complicit in what went on.
Or associated. I mean, say you went to one of these parties and you went early in the night. It was an after party. Plenty of people have talked about this on social media. And then something steamed off and then you left. But you don't want to be grouped in. You
slipped on the baby oil that was just coating the walls and the floors, and there's like 100-gallon tanks of baby oil, right? Or something like that. That's why I read something.
It is wild what kind of operation he had in place. He had secret cameras. He was taping folks without them even knowing, which of course is a crime. He had the baby oil. He was locking doors, as he said, to Conan O'Brien, and Conan O'Brien's reaction.
It's that uncomfortable kind of
Yeah.
Reminds me of the skit from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Dennis and Mac, where Dennis is talking about we're gonna buy a boat, so we bring people out on the boat, and she's not gonna say no, and Mac's like, are you gonna hurt these women? I was like, no, they just wouldn't say no because they're out in the ocean. Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna engage in rape? It's very much that kind. No one would, we're not saying we're going to do any bad thing, but we're locking the doors and we're recording, so nobody's gonna resist. Very, very bad. Very, very bad kind of stuff.
Very bad. And the fact that he would say that out loud at that point just shows the other side of it, which is he had so much power, he had so much money, he's such a large part of the music industry, and as a result, protected. He had AR-15s for himself, not for his security guards. There's a case to be made.
Well,
for
I support the Second Amendment. You can have guns.
Sure, but for what point? What do you need an AR-15 for? And you're locking people inside and holding them hostage?
Well, I don't know that that's been alleged.
He locked the doors on them. So.
Well, he joked about locking the doors to Conan O'Brien. I don't know if he actually locked the doors. That would be bad if he did. What has been alleged, to be clear, is not just wild sex parties where maybe it strikes us as a bit much, but people do whatever they want. It's not our business. It is wild sex parties that included forcible sex and video cameras and underage people and all sorts of very
This was
bad
not
stuff.
a bacchanal.
Not just like.
This was not a bacchanal after party. This was something that affected people who are underage, plenty of women. We saw that video of him beating Cassie, and now there are reports from his former bodyguards saying that they often had to break him apart from other women that he had dated over the years, and other behaviors where there was a report that he had urinated in a pitcher, and Tupac's ex-girlfriend had grabbed the pitcher, who's Quincy Jones' daughter, and was about to drink it, thinking it was beer, and the bodyguard had to step in, and Diddy clearly did not intervene.
That also reminds me of a It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia skit where Charlie keeps accidentally drinking urine because he keeps getting handed bottles of, and anyways, neither here nor there. If the viewers have seen this, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's awful, and he should be locked up based on that basis.
It's psychotic behavior, and the fact that it can go unchecked for that long, or that the bodyguards have to basically act as buffers when they know, and maybe that's why they're being charged with being complicit in that they're employed, they know, they intervened in some situations, but they never went to authorities. And how many people may have not even realized the scale of this and how organized it was, because it is run by as an operation, just as Epstein was. And
that was going on since 2002.
Yeah.
It's going on for the last 20 years.
One thing we're learning, the 2000s, not great.
Well, not great in terms of sex trafficking. Yeah.
Sex trafficking,
Yeah.
how young women were portrayed in the media. I mean, we hear these stories about how Paris Hilton was sent to that camp and then she was abused. You hear the stories of other women in the music industry who were abused by people like P. Diddy and others. It was a really rough time, and there was very little oversight. And I just want to know why the authorities took so long when these weren't necessarily secrets, as we're learning. Why did they? It's one thing for the music industry not to police itself, because there's a lot of money in this on the other end, but the law enforcement knew about much of this for years and years. What took them so long?
Well, now he's facing a potential life in prison sentence from all of these charges: sex trafficking, racketeering, prostitution, et cetera, and so on. So we will, I'm sure, be covering this.
And
for
50
a long
Cent
time.
has a documentary coming out about it on Netflix.
Really?
About his deal.
That does it for us today on Rising. Thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any of our content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're now available anywhere you can find podcasts. See you back here tomorrow.